There are places in this world where something feels wrong, not because you can see it, but because you can feel it. A presence, watching, waiting. And sometimes, it doesn't just stay hidden, it makes itself known. In one of the most disturbing cases in American history, a family claimed they were not alone in their own home. Objects moved. Voices whispered. Dark figures appeared. And what started as fear quickly turned into something far more terrifying. Because whatever was inside that house was not just haunting them, it was changing them. Welcome back to Secrets Unveiled, where every mystery has a deeper story. If you want to uncover the truth, make sure you're subscribed. It began like any normal story. A family searching for a new home. A fresh start. The house they found seemed perfect. Spacious, quiet, affordable, almost too perfect. Neighbors didn't say much, but there was a silence, an unspoken feeling, as if something about the house was being deliberately ignored. But the family didn't think twice. They moved in, unaware that their lives were about to change forever. At first, it was small things, easy to ignore. A door that closed on its own. Lights flickering without reason. Footsteps when no one was there. The family tried to explain it. Old wiring, loose hinges, overactive imagination. But deep down, they knew something wasn't right. Because these weren't random events. They were consistent, intentional, almost as if something was trying to get their attention. Then, it escalated. Objects began to move, not slightly, but violently. Chairs sliding across the floor, items falling from shelves, and sometimes things would disappear, only to reappear in places they were never placed. The family was no longer confused. They were afraid. Because this was no longer coincidence. This was something else. Something that didn't follow the rules. Of the physical world, the children were the first to truly experience it. They spoke of figures standing in their rooms at night, watching them, sometimes whispering. They described shapes that didn't look human, movements that didn't make sense. And the most disturbing part was that they weren't afraid at first. They thought it was normal, as if they were being slowly introduced to something they were never meant to understand. Soon, the activity became physical. Not just objects, but people were affected beds would shake, as if something was underneath. Blankets pulled. In the middle of the night, unseen forces, touching, grabbing, interacting. The line between imagination and reality was gone. Because whatever was in that house was no longer hiding. It was engaging, desperate for answers. The family reached out for help. Investigators arrived. Experts in the unexplained. They set up cameras, recording devices, and what they captured only made things worse. Unexplained sounds, sudden movements, voices that didn't belong to anyone present. The evidence was undeniable. Something was there. As time went on, the presence became darker, more aggressive. The family reported feeling watched every second. A constant pressure, as if something was closing in. Sleep became impossible. Fear became constant. And the house no longer felt like a home. It felt like a trap. Because whatever was there didn't want them to leave. In the end, there was only one option left. Leave. The family abandoned the house, leaving behind everything, because no matter what they did, they couldn't fight it. They couldn't understand it. And they couldn't escape it until they walked away. But even then, the question remained. Did it truly end? Today, the house still stands, silent, empty, but not forgotten. Because some places don't just hold memories, they hold something else, something that doesn't leave, something that waits, and maybe, just maybe, the story isn't over, because whatever was inside that house might still be there, watching, waiting for the next person to walk through the door.